Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a short set of acrylic nails. So of course the first thing that I'm doing is just going in and pushing back the cuticles. This is going to expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. So after we finish pushing back the cuticles, we're going to go in to remove the shine from the natural nail, and for that I'm using my 180 sanding band, and I'm using my e-file at 5,000 RPMs. As you can see, I go around the cuticle area, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, and then removing the shine from the rest of the nail. Remember that when you are doing this step, you want to make sure that you are not putting too much pressure on the nail bed, because if not, it will cause friction and it will cause your client's nail to burn. And if you ever had that done to you, or if you've ever done it on yourself, you know that it is not a good feeling. Like, it literally makes you jump back. Like, that's how bad it hurts. So make sure that you always get some stability. As you can see, when I'm working on my clients, I'm holding their finger with my pinky. Like, of course, with the hand that I'm following, I am resting my pinky on their finger, and that helps me get stability. That way I'm able to move my file or my e-file wherever I need it to go. If I don't do that, y'all, I literally would be all over the place. So make sure that you just find some sort of way to get some stability as you're doing this. Alrighty, so after we finish removing the shine, we just dust the nails off, and then we're going to start applying the nail tips. Now for this set, I'm going to be using my natural nail tips. So I'm also using my KDS glue. So as always, you just want to make sure that you size the nails and make sure that they fit perfectly from sidewall to sidewall. Apply the nail glue and then place it on the nail. As you can see, that one didn't have enough glue, so it didn't stick all the way down. I went ahead and applied a little bit more, pressed it down for a few seconds, and you're good to move on to the next nail. Also, another reminder is that when you're applying the nail tips, you want to make sure that you're holding their nail really straight. And then another thing is, if one tip fits a little too small and the next one up is a little too big, just go with the one that's a little bit bigger, and then just follow it down on the sides just a tiny bit to make it fit perfectly. But you never want to apply the one that's too small, because then it's like, once you place it down, it's gonna want to come back up. So eventually it will, and it's gonna cause lifting, and it's gonna cause your client's nail to lift. So other than that, we're just gonna be applying all of the nail tips, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, so after we finish applying all of the nail tips, we're going to go in with the tip cutter. And of course, she wants them pretty short, so I just trimmed it down. She looked at it. She was okay with that size. So then I went in and trimmed all of the nails down. And usually I'm able to just kind of guesstimate the length that each nail is. But then, of course, I always go in and measure each hand against each other to make sure that they are all the right size. If not, I even them out. So as you can see, I just do this, and whenever I'm doing this, I align their cuticles, and then that way I'm able to see, you know, exactly how long each nail tip is. And then of course, if one's a little bit longer, I go in and trim it down. Next, I'm going in with my straight edge nail clipper, and I'm just gonna be cutting down the sides of the nails, or just trimming the sides. That way, whenever we go in to shape the nails, it's gonna save us a little bit of time, not much at all, but also it keeps some of that work off our wrist. I don't know about you guys, but my wrist always hurts from filing too much, especially when I'm doing extra long nails, which I still go in and trim the sides anyways. But anyways, now we're gonna go in and shape the nails, and we're going in at a 90-degree angle on both sides and the free edge, and then of course blending the nail tip right in the middle. So again, going in on the sides at exactly a 90-degree angle, and then shaping the free edge. And whenever I shape the free edge, I'm holding my file at a vertical angle. I feel like I'm able to get my shape really even. And then also another thing is making sure that as you're shaping the nails, that you're watching what you're doing. I promise you that you'll be able to tell, you know, if you need to file a little bit more on one side than the other, or if your free edge is good and you can move on to the next nail. But you have to make sure that you're watching what you're doing. And then even if you have to step back and look at the nails for just a second, and just, you know, look at them all together, and, you know, just to see if you need to file a little bit more. So always make sure that you double check your work. Alrighty, so next we're going to go in and apply the primer. We're just applying this to the natural nail, and this is the JC Beauty Concepts primer. I'm also going to be using the JC Beauty Concepts Cover Blush Acrylic and the JC Beauty Concepts Monomer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just apply the first bead, and since these nails are short, I just go ahead and start around the cuticle area, place my first bead, pat it down, and brush it down towards the tip. And then my next bead is going to be right in the middle. So placing it down, same thing, patting it down and brushing it down towards the tip, making sure that I wipe my sides down really, really good. That way we don't have any product on the skin. My third one, and really I've really kind of applied them all on the same spot, honestly. So as you can see, placed it back down, pat it down, brushing it down towards the tip. And when you're applying acrylic, y'all, what you're looking for is just making sure that you have a nice apex and a good thickness at the tip. Without those two things, your nails will lift or break off really easily. So if you've ever had a set of nails done and they were super, super thin and flat, most likely they broke off. So that's what you want to avoid. So as I'm doing this, I'm looking at the nail from the side to see, okay, you know, I have a good apex, I can move on to the next nail. And that's usually what I always do. So I'm gonna do the same thing for all of them. again placing my first bead closer to the cuticle area. And of course, if they were longer, I would not be placing my first bead closer to the cuticle area, but since they are fairly short, I can do this. And then also, as you're working, you want to make sure that you're not just going in there with super huge nails, or sorry, not super huge nails, but super huge beads. Of course, the nails are short, so we want to work with a little product at a time. That way we don't end up with super thick bulky nails. So just wanted to, remind you guys of that. And then also, just another little reminder that when you are applying acrylic closer to the cuticle area, you want to place it as close as you can to the cuticle, but not on the actual skin, because then you will have lifting, because it's really hard to file that acrylic off once it's on the cuticle area. Most likely you would cut someone by doing that. Alrighty, so we're finishing up this hand, and I also wanted to remind you guys that when you're working, especially with colored acrylic, you want to make sure that you are wiping your brush off a lot as you're working, y'all. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like every time you see the brush, like anytime I wipe the brush, or anytime that I brush the acrylic, I wipe my brush off, because if not, that product is going to get stuck to your brush. And once like a tiny bit of acrylic gets stuck to your brush and you pick up more acrylic, you're going to get more and more acrylic stuck to your brush, to the point where you're not going to be able to have a smooth application, because then that acrylic that's stuck in your brush is going to cause any bit that you pick up to dry a lot faster, and it's just going to make your application really bumpy and lumpy. So I always make sure that I have a spare brush, so if one gets acrylic stuck in it, I set one in my brush cleaner to let it soak, and then I just go ahead and use the other one, instead of, only having one brush and then having to wait for that acrylic to soak off. So, that's just a little too much. So always keep a spare brush, y'all. I cannot stress that enough. The brush that I'm using is my number 10 alpha brush. I was gonna say something else, but it's by Alpha Brush, and I really like it. I've been using this one for quite a while. This pink one is actually of a collaboration that I'm doing with them, and it will be out really soon, and I can't wait. I'm super excited, and I know you guys will love them. Alrighty, so after we finish applying the acrylic, we're going to go in with that same 100 nail file that we used at the beginning to shape the nails. So of course, we're just going in and redefining the shape. So going in at a 90-degree angle on both sides and the free edge. And of course, we already have that coffin shape that we want, but after you apply the acrylic, it kind of takes away from the shape, and then you will have some little rough edges. So you just want to make sure you go in there and get that perfect shape that you want, because your shape will make or break your sets. So make sure that you always go in and reshape your nails. Alrighty, so after we finish reshaping the nails, we're going to go in with the fine drill bit. As always, going around the cuticle area, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until you're able to see where your cuticle is, where your natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And during this step, I am using my e-file at 10,000 RPMs. As always, just speed it up or slow it down to whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. But we're gonna do the same thing on all of them. So again, y'all, go around that cuticle area first, and I'm going in like a horseshoe motion. So going from the right side, it kind of makes like that upside down C, and that's really what you want to do to get around that cuticle area, and then following the rest of the nail to make sure that it is all nice and smooth, that you don't have any bumps and lumps. Now, if you are a beginner and your nails are pretty thick and lumpy, the only thing you can do to get rid of those bumps and lumps is just go in and continue filing until you filed enough of the bulk off and remove those bumps and lumps. Alrighty, so after we finish filing the nails, we're going to go in with the buffer. And this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So you want to make sure that you always buff those nails really, really good because you don't want to be able to see those scratches through your polish. Alrighty, so now I just dust the nails off and then I'm going in with an alcohol wipe and just removing any of that dust off the nail. After that, we're going to go in with the gel polish. So I'm going to be using Perfect White and Perfect Black, both by Madam Glam. You guys know that that is my all-time favorite gel polish company, and I just absolutely love them. So I'm gonna be leaving the link down below to their website as well as my promo code. And as always, all of the links and promo codes and everything that you need for nails is down in a description. We're always listed, so just wanted to remind you guys that, because I always get a lot of comments about people asking, where do I get this from, where do I get that from, and I think I do a pretty good job at listing every single thing. And as always, if I forget to list anything that I mentioned, just be sure to leave me a comment down below, and I'll be sure to leave it down below, y'all. Leave y'all the link in the description or even in your comment. Alrighty, but as you guys seen, I'm just going in with my small nail art brush, which will be on my website pretty soon, and I'm just drawing like a little outline going from the side of the nail, from the sidewall toward, I don't know why I always say sidewalk, from the side wall, and then going towards the middle of the free edge. And we're doing the white first, and then after we cure the first coat, we're gonna go in with the black, because the black is gonna overlap that white at the tip. And then I am skipping the ring finger and the index finger, because on those we're gonna do a little bit of transfer foil. So again, going in and doing the outline first with the white, and then after we cure this, we're gonna go in and do the same thing with the black, except for it's gonna come from the other side of the nail. And as you can see, it kind of overlaps the white just a little bit. Alrighty, so after we did the black, we're going to go in with the Model 1's nail foil glue, and we're going to apply that on the ring finger and the index finger. And I'm just doing it like across the nail, and then we're going to cure that for 60 seconds. We're going to go in and do the black on the other hand, and then we're going to come in and do the foil glue as well. Alrighty, so this hand is cured, so I'm going in with the transfer foil. I'm using this black and white snakeskin transfer foil. I just apply it over the top of the nail, rub it with my thumb, make sure that it's on there nice and flat, and then once we've rubbed it really good, we just snatch that foil off, and then I'm going to be outlining that transfer foil with some little gold foil. With this gold foil, you do have to cut it into little tiny pieces. And then to pick it up, I just kind of wet my little cleanup brush with a little bit of acetone and just place it on the nail. I will have this gold foil on my website as well. I'll also have the snakeskin foils and the cleanup brush. You guys know that at the end of December, I closed down my website for restocking, and it will be up really soon. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on that. Usually I post about the restock on my on my Instagram first, so I'll be sure to leave my Instagram down below. Well, it's Get Nailed 32, but I'll leave the link down below for you guys as well. Alrighty, so after that, since all of these are cured, we're going to go in and apply the Madam Glam gel top coat on all of the nails. And then, of course, we're going to cure this for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so we're gonna let that hand cure as well after we finish the top coat on this nail. And then after that, usually the little gold pieces are a little bit rough if you applied it on a little bit too thick. So I just went in and very gently buffed the little rough surfaces off, and then I go in and do a second top coat. And I always do a second top coat whenever I apply transfer foils or the little gold foils over the top of the nail. Now if I encapsulate it, then of course I just do one top coat, but since it's over the acrylic and I just don't want the nail to be rough, I do go in and buff and do a top coat. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really cute. I absolutely love that cover blush color that I used as a base. You guys know that it's my favorite, but y'all, I'm also loving that black and white. You guys know that I have that cover blush on my nails now, so I'll probably be doing that design on my nails. But anyways, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to hit that little bell so you are notified every time that I post.